Welcome to the deep dive. So today I want you to imagine, just for a second, a scenario where your income is physically capped, like entirely capped by the number of hours in a single day.
Oh yeah, the classic trap.
Right. You have two hands. There are only so many hours you can realistically stay awake, and you can only serve, one client at a time.
It's a very common, honestly, very frustrating wall
Yeah.
that, well, almost every service-based professional hits at some point.
Exactly. The clock is literally your ceiling. And if you're standing on your feet all day, your physical stamina is the floor.
It is the ultimate bottleneck in any service business. I mean, it doesn't matter how skilled you are or, how long your wait list is or even how much explosive demand there is for your specific service. You just simply run out of time to sell.
You literally run out of time.
Right. You are trading hours for dollars, and there is a hard mathematical limit to that equation. You can't outwork the clock.
You really can't. And that's exactly what the mission of our deep dive today is about. We are exploring exactly how you break that ceiling, like how you shatter it completely. We're looking at how one specific industry leader is teaching professionals to completely blow past that income cap by shifting from performing a service to actually teaching it.
And to do that, we are looking at a really fascinating stack of sources today.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, we have the complete course curricula, the promotional blogs, and the Academy background materials for the Body Slim Advanced Body Contouring Trainer Certification.
It's a mouthful, but yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And this entire framework was created by Tanya White, who is Australia's #1 body sculpting certified trainer.
Okay, let's unpack this because I want to be clear right out of the gate here. Why should you, the listener, care about body contouring?
Right, it seems niche.
It does, but whether you are a salon owner, a tech consultant, maybe a freelance graphic designer, or just someone who is endlessly fascinated by clever business models, this deep dive is a masterclass.
Oh, absolutely.
It really is a comprehensive blueprint for scaling your expertise, stepping into true leadership, and, as we'll see a bit later, leveraging artificial intelligence in some truly surprising places.
Yeah, it's a universal business challenge being solved within a very, very specific, highly physical niche. But to really understand why this specific course even exists in the first place, we first have to examine the systemic problem it's trying to solve within the body contouring industry itself.
Right, the industry gap. Let's talk about the massive difference between the technician and the leader.
Yeah, so in the sources, there is this stark line drawn between a technician who simply performs the physical treatments and a trainer who actually leads an educational environment.
Because they're not the same thing.
Not at all. And right now, according to the materials, the body sculpting industry is absolutely flooded with what they call confusing surface-level training.
Oh, we've all seen this kind of training, right? Like in various industries, the kind where you pay good money, you sit in a stiff chair, watch a few poorly formatted slides, and then, boom, you're handed a certificate of completion.
Precisely. And what happens is, students walk away from these courses feeling entirely overwhelmed and completely lacking in practical confidence. Because, well, they weren't actually taught, they were just talked at.
Right. Just a lecture.
Exactly. Tanya White has a great quote in her promotional material where she emphasizes that knowing something and teaching something are two completely different skills.
I love that quote. It makes so much sense. But I have to admit, when I first read the source materials, my immediate, somewhat cynical reaction was to push back on this a little bit.
Right.
Like, wait, is this just a classic those who can't do teach scenario? Or maybe even just a cash grab because the market is so saturated with practitioners, so now everyone is just trying to sell inflated courses to each other.
Right, the whole pyramid of courses thing.
Exactly. It feels kind of like the difference between being a fantastic line cook and actually knowing how to run a culinary school. Being able to sear a steak perfectly doesn't magically mean you know how to build a curriculum around food safety, inventory management, and, student psychology.
That is the exact skepticism you should have. And frankly, it's the exact skepticism this curriculum is overtly designed to counter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because making that massive leap from line cook to culinary school director, it requires immense, undeniable credibility. You can't just fake pedagogical skills.
You really can't. People see right through it.
They do. And what's fascinating here is how Tanya White's incredibly diverse background proves this isn't just theory or some quick cash grab.
Her resume is wild. I was reading through the Academy background materials, and it's not just standard beauty industry stuff. It's this completely unexpected mix.
Not at all standard. I mean, yes, she has 15 years of deep experience in the beauty industry and 11 years running her own highly successful salon.
Yeah.
That is the baseline hands-on credibility. But she also spent 8 years in ambulance emergency services in first response.
First response. That is incredibly intense.
It is. Now, think about how that directly translates to teaching and managing a clinic.
Okay. Yeah.
First response is all about high-stakes crisis management. Strict adherence to complex medical protocols, extremely clear communication, and remaining absolutely calm under intense pressure.
Right. Because if things go wrong.
Exactly. When a client panics or a student freezes up because they're terrified of using a machine incorrectly, a first responder knows exactly how to de-escalate that situation. Combine that practical crisis experience with her formal qualifications. She holds a Cert 4 in training and assessment, life coach certifications, and diplomas in clinical nursing skills, and you start to see why her approach to education is so fundamentally different.
She's basically bringing the absolute rigor of medical emergency protocols and formal educational theory straight into the beauty industry.
Exactly. It creates this holistic approach to education. She isn't just teaching people how to press buttons on a body sculpting machine. She is teaching them how to be competent, legally compliant, and emotionally supportive educators. To be a true trainer, you must understand the why behind the process. You must know how to mentor, how to logically structure learning so it sticks, and how to professionally support a student who is struggling.
So we've established the overwhelming need for this kind of structured leadership. The industry desperately needs real trainers, not just slide readers. But that brings up a mechanical question for me. How do you actually teach someone to be a trainer?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right. You can't just hand them a manual and say, be a good mentor. You have to operationalize it step by step. And the answer to how she does that lies in the sheer architectural depth of this Bodhi Slim course. We really have to peek under the hood here.
Oh, the architecture of this course is massive. The documentation outlines a robust program that takes 100 nominal hours to complete.
Wow.
Yeah. It is 100% online, totally flexible and self-paced, and it costs $1,299.
And if you're listening to this and balking at a $1,300 price tag for an online course, you're not alone. I had the exact same initial reaction.
Sure.
So let's actually look at what justifies that. For that money, the students get 17 different modules containing 33 deep dive videos. Tanya actually notes in her promotional blogs that she is essentially handing over her brain and showing students exactly what she does day in and day out in her own academy.
She's giving away the entire operational playbook.
Literally all of it.
It is a full operational blueprint, completely demystified. And it covers these highly practical, deeply granular skills.
Like what?
Well, let's look at a few examples. Module 9 is entirely focused on student assessment. Because how do you actually know if your student is absorbing the material? You can't just ask, hey, do you get it?
Right, they'll just say yes to avoid looking dumb.
Exactly. You need structured assessment criteria. Then there's Module 12, which dives deep into compliance and legal education. It specifically teaches these future trainers how to look up TGA numbers.
Ah, the Therapeutic Goods Administration. That is a massive deal in Australia.
Huge deal.
If you are using professional salon machines that interact with the human body, you have to ensure everything is strictly compliant or you open yourself up to massive liability. A technician just turns the machine on. A trainer understands the legal liability of the machine.
Exactly. And then Module 8 goes into establishing long-term credibility through trademarking.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Tanya herself created Australia's first trademarked body contouring technique, which she calls Contour EQ. In this module, she is teaching her students how to protect their own intellectual property. This fundamentally shifts the mindset. This isn't just about applying a physical treatment anymore. It is about building a legally defensible business asset.
Here's where it gets really interesting for me, though. We can talk about legal compliance all day, but this is still a physical service industry. It's Model 7 mentoring and supporting your students. That really caught my eye.
Oh, that's a crucial one.
It is. A standout feature of this module is the inclusion of a real 45-minute live mentoring session. It's painstakingly broken down into parts, so the students taking the course can watch what she calls the art of correction in real time.
The art of correction is arguably the most vital skill an educator can possess.
Right.
It is one thing to tell a student what to do from a podium, but it is entirely another to gently, constructively correct their physical technique in real time. Maybe they're holding the sculpting device at the wrong angle, or applying too much pressure.
And you have to fix it without making them feel terrible.
Exactly, correcting them without shattering their confidence. By including that raw, real footage, she bridges the gap between abstract educational theory and actual, messy human interaction.
But that brings up a really challenging logistical question for me. Let's really think about this. If this entire course is 100% online and they are learning this art of correction through a computer screen, how do they ensure the student taking this course is actually ready to teach others in person?
That's a fair point.
Like, how do we know this academy isn't just a certificate mill handing out credentials to people who have zero real-world competence?
It is a critical question, and the course design directly addresses it in two very specific ways. First, the promotional materials explicitly state this course is not for total beginners. There is a hard prerequisite. You must already be working actively in the body contouring space for over 1 year to even enroll in it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you must already know the physical treatments inside and out.
Okay, so the foundation of the hands-on skill is already a given. They aren't learning how to contour. They are learning the delivery of that skill to another human being.
Yes. And second, the curriculum features Module 13, which is entirely dedicated to assessing student readiness during in-person training.
Okay, so there is an in-person element they have to evaluate.
Exactly. It teaches the future trainer exactly what physical, practical markers they need to look for when they eventually assess their in-person students. It teaches them how to build an evaluation rubric. This curriculum is about building a robust educational system, not just delivering lists of facts.
It is a fascinating ecosystem, but it's also, frankly, incredibly daunting. Building a 17-module academy, learning about TGA compliance, recording assessment videos, mastering the emotional intelligence of correction. It's a massive psychological leap and an exhausting amount of work.
It's basically starting a brand new business.
It is. So why do it? Why step out of the comfortable treatment room where you are already making a predictable income to go through all of this friction? And that brings us to the financial engine of this whole model. The transition from being a technician to a trainer unlocks a completely new mechanism for wealth creation.
It is the fundamental shift from service to scale. As we discussed in the very beginning, service-based professionals are strictly limited by how many clients they can fit in a single day.
The clock is the ceiling.
Right. When you transition to training, you shift to selling knowledge. And unlike your physical time, knowledge scales infinitely. You build it once, and you can deploy it 1,000 times.
Let's look at the actual numbers from the sources because they are genuinely eye-opening. The promotional materials break down the typical pricing landscape in the body contouring education market. Entry-level basic courses usually sell for around $399. A mid-tier structured course goes for between $600 and $999. And premium advanced training courses sell for $1,200 to $1,500 and up.
The math here is where the model proves its worth, and why that initial friction is totally worth pushing through.
Definitely.
The blog lays out a remarkably simple scenario. Selling just 10 students into a $1,000 course generates $10,000 in revenue.
10 grand from 10 people.
Yes. And it allows these newly minted trainers to run group trainings where they teach 5 people at once, sell fully online resource packages, and build repeat passive income streams entirely without trading their physical time in the treatment room.
So what does this all mean? It's kind of like moving from selling cups of lemonade one by one, where you literally have to manually squeeze the lemons for every single dollar you make, to selling the entire lemonade stand franchise model.
That's a great analogy.
You are selling the system. But I have to push back again here because the real world is messy. Surely it's not as easy as just slapping a $1,500 price tag on a course and waiting for the internet to send you money.
Definitely not.
Right. What makes people actually pull out their credit card and pay that? You can't just declare yourself a premium educator on Instagram and expect the market to agree with you.
You are entirely correct. And the source documents highlight that this is exactly where most well-intentioned technicians fail. People will not pay premium prices for just a basic course or a couple of hastily typed PDFs. What they're actually paying for is the structure, the clear, undeniable offer, and the premium positioning of the trainer. They are paying to de-risk their own careers. They want the credibility, the trademark techniques, the deep understanding of TGA compliance, the structured mentoring blueprints, all the things this rigorous curriculum is teaching the trainer to provide.
They are paying for the certainty that they will get a specific result safely and legally.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, The body contouring professionals who succeed in this space are mastering the fundamental business concept of leverage. They are decoupling their income from their time.
Yes.
They're moving from a linear service-based income model where output equals hours to a scalable asset-based income model where output is driven by systems.
That concept of leverage is incredibly powerful, but let's be real. To truly scale a business like that, to justify those premium prices and handle multiple students across different time zones without burning out and ending up more exhausted than when you were in the salon, you need incredibly professional delivery. And you need bulletproof systems.
You absolutely do.
And this is where Bodhi Slim's absolute secret weapon comes in, and honestly, it is surprisingly high-tech for the hands-on beauty industry.
We're talking about the deep integration of artificial intelligence.
Yes, the tech edge. I was mind-blown by the collision of hands-on body sculpting and artificial intelligence in these sources. Module 15 plus an entire section of bonus modules is entirely dedicated to trainer technology and AI integration. It's not an afterthought, it's a core pillar.
It is a brilliant, highly strategic move. Tanya White doesn't just tell her students to, go use AI. She actually holds a formal certificate in AI ChatGPT, which she proudly lists right alongside her clinical nursing and beauty therapy diplomas.
That is so cool.
She is teaching her students exactly how to build prompt frameworks to create glossy, high-end professional training materials and SEO-optimized blogs using ChatGPT.
It doesn't stop at text generation, though. The course literally teaches them how to create AI talking head videos.
Which is wild.
It is. There is a specific video module in the curriculum titled Our AI Talking Head 45-second High Converting Video, where she breaks down exactly how to use AI avatars to create compelling marketing and training content.
Which is an incredible operational advantage. Think about the friction of maintaining a polished, professional presence. Now, instead of having to spend hours setting up a camera, adjusting ring lights, and fixing audio every single time you need to update a tiny piece of course material, you have an avatar that can deliver the update flawlessly in minutes.
But the absolute crown jewel of the bonus section, the thing that really made me stop and try to wrap my head around the mechanics of it, is bonus 4. She teaches these future trainers how to create an AI 24/7 support chat for their own academy.
Oh, this is the best part.
It allows these new educational businesses to offer constant guidance, answering student questions even when the trainer is fast asleep.
That is the ultimate expression of scale. You are effectively cloning your baseline knowledge.
But wait, how does a body contouring expert actually train an AI? Do they just upload their PDFs to a website and hope for the best? And more importantly, is this AI replacing the human mentor? We just spent 10 minutes talking about how important the art of correction and real empathetic human support is. Is this putting the human mentor on steroids, or is it just outsourcing the mentorship to a cold, unfeeling bot?
It is very clearly putting the human mentor on steroids. The sources synthesize this beautifully. The AI is utilized specifically for scale and operational efficiency, not for outright replacement.
Okay.
As for how they do it, the course teaches them how to feed their proprietary standard operating procedures, their FAQs, and their specific tone of voice into a custom AI system. It essentially creates a walled garden of their specific expertise.
Okay, walk me through how that actually works in practice for the student, like day to day.
Okay, think about the types of questions an anxious student asks at 2 a.m. while cramming for an assessment.
Oh, sure.
What is the specific TGA website address again? How long did the fat freezing machine need to run for step 2? Where do I download the client intake form?
Just logistical stuff.
Right. These are factual, repetitive, administrative queries. The AI 24/7 support chat handles that entire baseline tier of operational support instantly. By offloading that massive administrative burden, the human touch is preserved and fiercely protected for the critical high-value moments.
So the human trainer isn't waking up to 50 emails asking the exact same basic question, completely exhausting their empathy before the day even starts.
Precisely. The trainer saves their cognitive and emotional energy for the complex live mentoring sessions, the nuanced physical corrections where a student's confidence is on the line, and a high-level strategy of growing their business. The AI handles the repetitive content generation and basic support, while the human handles the connection and the nuance.
That makes perfect sense.
This raises an important question then. How many other traditional, fiercely hands-on industries are currently being quietly revolutionized by AI background systems? We constantly think of AI as something that is taking over coding or copywriting or graphic design. But here it is, deeply embedded in the business of teaching people how to sculpt physical bodies in a local salon. It's an incredible paradigm shift.
It really is. It is a testament to how adaptable these technologies are when they are applied thoughtfully to solve a specific, painful business bottleneck rather than just being used as a flashy gimmick.
Exactly.
So to bring this all together, we started this deep dive looking at a very real physical ceiling, the draining reality of having only two hands, aching feet, and a strictly limited number of hours in the treatment room. What the Body Slim Advanced Body Contouring Trainer Certification really represents is a master blueprint for escaping that trap.
It is the complete systematized journey from being a hands-on technician entirely bogged down by the clock to building a high-tech, scalable education empire that works while you sleep.
And whether you are deep in the beauty industry or, you're a plumber trying to train apprentices, a graphic designer scaling an agency, or an accountant tired of doing individual taxes, the principles we've unpacked today are fiercely universal.
So true.
Documenting your messy processes, stepping out of the weeds and into a role of structured leadership, protecting your intellectual property, and fiercely leveraging AI to scale your knowledge. These are the absolute core tools that break the income ceiling in any profession.
Absolutely. It is about working on the system, not just in the system. And I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over regarding where this intersection of hands-on skills and technology is actually heading.
Oh, okay.
We saw in the Body Slim course that they are currently teaching professionals how to build a 24/7 AI chat to support their teaching. Right now, it expertly handles text-based queries and administrative friction.
Right.
But as AI gets drastically better at synthesizing knowledge and, more importantly, at analyzing real-time video feeds with spatial awareness, what is the next true evolution?
Wow. Okay.
Could we soon see a beauty industry, or really any physical trade, where an AI-driven instructor watches a student perform a physical treatment through their smartphone camera, analyzing the angle, the pressure, and the technique in real time, and only alerting the human trainer to step in for the most complex, nuanced physical corrections? It is a fascinating, honestly slightly dizzying glimpse into the immediate future of hands-on education.
That is a wild thought. The AI as the ultimate set of vigilant eyes, freeing the human up even more to do the truly impactful work. It just goes to show, when you finally figure out how to stop trading your precious hours for dollars, the possibilities for scale and for teaching the next generation are completely limitless. So the next time you feel like the clock is capping your potential and your feet are aching at the end of a long shift, ask yourself, are you just going to keep performing the service, or are you finally ready to build the academy?